Hello, my name is Skye Travers, and today I'll be talking about the possible medicinal benefits of magic mushrooms. So, the legal history of magic mushrooms is that psilocybin, which is the chemical making them so lucrative, is illegal in many countries, and in the United States is considered a Schedule I drug. Schedule I drugs have a high potential for abuse and serve no legitimate medicinal purpose in the United States. In order to take this research to the next level, Phase 3 clinical trials are needed. These trials would use diverse subjects from all walks of life to provide solid evidence. With this evidence, the next step would be to reschedule the drug and all of its uses in psychiatry science. So what makes the mushroom so special? The effects of psilocybin mushrooms come from psilocybin and psilocin. When psilocybin is ingested, it is broken down to produce psilocin, which is responsible for the psychedelic effects. These chemicals create short-term increases in tolerance of users, thus making it difficult to abuse them because the more often they are taken within a short period of time, the weaker the results of the effects are. Noticeable changes to the auditory, visual, and tactile senses may become apparent around 30 minutes to an hour after ingestion, although effects may take up to 2 hours to take place. So, magic mushrooms are consumed in several ways, including capsule form, which is where they are ground and put into capsules. Teas can also be made to where patients could drink the mushrooms, and then they can also be put in foods. So what does it feel like being on magic mushrooms? There are feelings of anxiety, dilated pupils, a distorted sense of time, an out-of-body experience, feeling more open or creative, and some users have reported lingering hallucinatory perceptions that may be linked with a rare disorder called HPPD. So this research is important because it can help several people, including people with cancer. There's been a 9-month study conducted at NYU Langhorne Medicinal Center, which involved 29 patients with cancer-related anxiety and depression. By the end of the study, they found that psilocybin was a rapid, immediately acting anti-anxiety and antidepressant. Among the patients who were given psilocybin first, 83% still experienced an antidepressant response 7 weeks later, compared to 14% who were given the niacin, which was the placebo that they used. So this shows great, support for using medicinal mushrooms because, many people are diagnosed with depression and anxiety while going through cancer treatments such as chemo and radiation. So this research could also help people with depression. Depression is estimated to affect more than 350 million people around the world, according to the World Health Organization. And the current pharmaceutical approach to treatment is with selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, such as Prozac, which increase levels of serotonin in the brain to improve moods. But SSRIs are not effective in everyone. They take time to show an effect and are generally prescribed over long periods of time to maintain their effect. So the beauty of using magic mushrooms would be that the treatment process would be much smaller, considering you'd only take a couple of doses, and those effects would last potentially longer than continual use of SSRIs. So this research could also help people with addictions, as it showed that with psilocybin, people feel reorganized after therapy, and the nature of this reorganization is such that there are effects on attitudes towards addiction. Research with psychedelics on addiction began in the 1950s and 60s before laws against the drugs were introduced. This is important because there are estimated 42 million smokers in the United States, and the habit accounts for 1 in 5 deaths each year. Also, similar small-scale studies on alcoholism by Michael Broggenschultz at the University of New Mexico have had equally promising results, with the greatest improvements seen in people after they've received psilocybin than after counseling alone. So the possible side effects of using this drug are long-term negative effects such as flashbacks, a risk of psychiatric illness, and impaired memory have been described in case reports. In many of the case reports from NYU study, participants reported experiencing intense anxiety and discomfort, ranging from a few minutes to a few hours. During their trip, it was only afterward that some said that they began to feel a sense of relief, and even this experience may vary significantly for each person. So magic mushrooms is definitely something to consider when looking at future research into assisting people with cancer, depression, and people with addictions. Thanks for watching my presentation.